Do you know that the story of Christmas didn't begin with snow, reindeer, or twinkling lights? It started centuries ago in the warm deserts of ancient Turkey with quiet acts of kindness. Long before Santa Claus became a global icon in a red suit, there was a humble monk named Nicholas, born around the year 280 in a town called Patera. Nicholas wasn't a mythical figure with a flying sleigh. He was a real person, a man known throughout his community for his incredible compassion. He believed in giving quietly, in helping others without ever expecting anything in return. His life was a testament to the idea that true generosity comes from the heart, not for public applause. There's a famous story about him that perfectly captures his spirit. It tells of a poor man in his village who had 3 daughters. In those times, a daughter needed a dowry to marry, a sum of money or property to secure her future. This poor father had nothing. He was filled with despair, worried his daughters would face a life of hardship and poverty. He saw no way out. One cold night, as the family slept, their small home silent and dark, Nicholas crept to their window. He carried with him 3 small bags filled with gold. He knew the father was too proud to accept charity directly, so he acted in secret. He gently dropped the bags of gold through the open window, one for each daughter. Legend has it that the gold landed inside stockings that had been hung by the fireplace to dry. Imagine the family's shock and joy the next morning. It was a miracle. This anonymous gift changed their lives, securing a future for all 3 daughters. This single, simple act of generosity, done in the quiet of the night, became the seed of a legend that would grow and travel across the world for ages. It was the birth of a tradition we still honor today. As the centuries passed, the stories of Nicholas's kindness and miracles spread far and wide. He became known as Saint Nicholas, the protector of children, sailors, and the poor. Churches were named after him, and his feast day, December 6th, became a day of celebration and gift-giving in many parts of Europe. Children would leave their shoes out, hoping Saint Nicholas would fill them with small treats and coins. But as his story traveled from country to country, it began to change, blending with local folklore and traditions. In the Netherlands, he became Santa Claus, a distinguished figure who rode a white horse and had a helper to distribute gifts. When Dutch settlers came to America in the 1800s, they brought their cherished tales of Santa Claus with them. In this new land, the name slowly began to transform. Santa Claus morphed into Santa Claus. The image started changing, too. American writers and poets began to shape a new figure, one who was less of a stern saint and more of a jolly, magical being. In 1823, a poem titled A Visit from St. Nicholas, which you probably know as 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, gave us the iconic image of a cheerful, round Santa with a sleigh pulled by 8 tiny reindeer. The legend was evolving, becoming something bigger and more magical. Then came a pivotal moment in the 1930s. The world was in the midst of the Great Depression, a time of great hardship. A major company, Coca-Cola, wanted to create a heartwarming holiday advertising campaign. They commissioned an artist named Haddon Sundblom to paint a new, definitive image of Santa Claus. Drawing inspiration from the poem and his own imagination, Sundblom created the Santa we all recognize today, a man with a big white beard, rosy cheeks, a twinkle in his eye, and, of course, that famous bright red suit. These advertisements were a massive success. They appeared in magazines and on billboards across the country and eventually the world. For the first time, people everywhere shared a single, unified vision of Santa Claus. What began as the quiet kindness of a monk in ancient Turkey had now become a global symbol of holiday cheer, a figure that captured the hearts of millions. It's an incredible journey, isn't it? From a real man's secret act of charity to a worldwide phenomenon of gift-giving, festive parades, and joyful celebrations. But it's easy to get lost in the bright lights, the commercialism, and the rush of the holiday season. It's easy to forget where this all came from. Behind the glitter, the gifts, and the glowing trees, the true spirit of Christmas remains unchanged. It's the same spirit that moved Nicholas all those centuries ago. It's the power of compassion. It's the simple, profound beauty of giving without seeking any reward. It's about seeing a need and filling it, quietly and selflessly. The real story of Christmas isn't about what's under the tree, but what lives inside the heart. It's about the light we choose to share with others, especially when the world feels dark and cold. It's the small acts of kindness, the moments of connection, and the love we show to our family, friends, and even strangers. Think about it. The story didn't start with magic. It started with empathy. It was one person's choice to make a difference in someone else's life, to bring hope where there was despair. That is a power we all have. We can all be a source of light for someone else. So this holiday season, as you gather with your loved ones, remember the humble monk from Patera. Remember that the greatest gifts we can give don't always come wrapped in shiny paper. They are the gifts of our time, our attention, and our kindness. Because sometimes the smallest act of kindness can echo through centuries and become the greatest story ever told. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more stories that explore the history behind our traditions. Happy holidays and take care!